G'day guys, Nate here, coming at you with Collingwood's VFL reports. Round 7 action against Geelong, Saturday afternoon, Victoria Park, 12:05 p.m. It was on the ABC. I was at the game. I was not prepared for the wet weather, so just got home and we've lost this game by 61 points. Geelong 17-14, 116 to Collingwood 8-7, 55. It was an avalanche after halftime, down by 11 points at halftime. Geelong kicking 11 goals, 7 to Collingwood 3 goals, 5. And the final quarter, early final quarter, bit of white flag behaviour, bit disappointing to see. I said on Instagram that there's no standout teams in the VFL so far. Like, no one's head and shoulders the best team in the VFL right now. Geelong are one of, if not the best teams right now. So there's that. But teams like the Western Bulldogs or Footscray, the reigning defending undisputed premiers right now. Box Hill remain a solid side in the VFL. Carlton are surprisingly good in the VFL. Sydney, they're now a good VFL side in 2026. Tasmania have come in as well. So there's a few factors, few teams involved so far. We've got 5 or 6 teams in the mix right now at the top. Then you've got another patch, another 5 or 6 teams in the middle. So that 1 to 6 are top 6, 7 to 10 wild card round. You got a few other teams that will fall just out of that top 10, but in the mix. And then you've got the hanger-on teams right now. But you're going to see in the next few weeks in the VFL, the weaker and bottom teams get exposed, and the hanger-on teams are going to hang on for dear life for the next 3 to 4 weeks. Unfortunately, Collingwood's in that hanger-on position right now, and we have a tough fixture coming up. We've got Sydney up there next week, Friday. That's a 2 p.m. start, so I won't be able to watch or even do the VFL report, and that's another reason why I'm doing this VFL report here immediately after the game when I get home, is because I won't be able to do a VFL report until at least King's birthday or 2 days before King's birthday. So we've got Sydney up there next week. That's a Friday afternoon. I'll be at work, so I won't be able to watch the game live. And we've got the AFL Friday night as well, so I won't do the VFL report. 2 weeks from now, we've got Werribee. That's 12:05 p.m. in Werribee, Avalon Airport Oval. And then we've got West Coast as a Saturday twilight at the MCG. So again, short turnaround. I won't do the VFL report in 2 weeks' time. And then Footscray at Widden Oval in 3 weeks' time. That's a 3:05 p.m. start Saturday. We've got Marvel Stadium against the Dogs. That's Saturday night, so short turnaround as well. So back-to-back weeks where very short turnarounds to watch the VFL straight into the AFL, which is good for a viewing perspective. But for me, doing VFL reports, I won't be able to do that for the next few weeks unless you want me to do standalone VFL reports a couple of days later. Up to you guys. Leave your thoughts and comments down below on that. But I'd rather watch the games live and have that perspective straight away, just like what I'm doing here. So yeah, that's the VFL. We're 2 wins, 4 losses, and we are a hanger-on team. Tough 3 weeks. KC as well. They're a tough cookie to crack, even though they just got smacked against Carlton by 122 points today. KC are always a tough opponent in the VFL. We lost to them last year, so yeah, that could be 4 tough games heading into the mid-season bye. We've got to be at least 5-5 or 4-6. 4-6 is more hanger-on position. 5-5 is smack bang in the middle. But we got touched up quite a bit after halftime against Geelong, and even for most of the first half as well. Geelong had the momentum. They had the opportunities in the first half, particularly that first quarter. The first quarter was a bit of a, not an arm wrestle, but it was a quarter of 2 halves, if that makes sense. So it was Geelong with all the opportunities in the first 15 minutes. Collingwood were able to convert their opportunities when it came through in that first half of the first quarter. Charlie West with 2 goals to start the first quarter. Very good goal as well to get on the board. Dropped the mark. Bobby Hill, 15 metres, not 15 metres out. It was a 15-metre kick. Charlie West inside 50, doesn't hit the target. Charlie West, his second efforts, knocks over Lennox Hoffman, whatever his name is. Just knocked him for a loop, picked up the ground ball, left foot, kicks the goal. A sign of a good game for Charlie West, which I'll touch on a little bit later. But then the second half of the first quarter was Geelong getting at the back door, taking their opportunities in that first quarter to lead at quarter time. And Collingwood, it was a stalemate in the second quarter, deadlocked for the first 20 minutes. We were robbed of a goal. I think it was Josh Brown. I actually didn't see who kicked it, but Smith guarding the goal line and pinged for a free kick against for a marking opportunity, apparently, on the line. It was straight through for a goal. It cost us the goal. 5 minutes later, Geelong kicks the first goal of the second quarter, 20 minutes into the second quarter. 2 goals each in that second quarter, but And even though it didn't really cost us in the end, I mean, we lost by 10 goals, it's the showdown rule or the Rochelle rule. Whoever it was in the showdown last week who gave away that free kick on the line when it was really a goal, letter of the law, they paid it, but 9 times out of 10, it's called a goal. There's no free kick, and we were on the receiving end of it. But I'll say this, just heading into the AFL tonight: if you've got Geelong friends or family heading to the game, or you're going to be with Geelong friends or family watching the game tonight, don't give them a handshake, don't hug them, don't put your hands around their shoulders or anything like that, because it will be a Geelong free kick. Yeah, just sneaking that in, because we couldn't touch these Geelong players, but they could wrestle us and they could do whatever they want. But if we did the same thing, a tackle deemed a sling tackle or a dump tackle, Smith and Teakle being pushed around the ruck as well. There was a time in the final quarter where Teakle was tunnelled from the centre ball up, jumping for the footy. No free kick. Smith being ragdolled at stoppages and no free kick given. But if Smith touched a Geelong ruck, it's a free kick. I just didn't cost us a game, but I'm just throwing that out there. Had to be mentioned. And the third quarter was where the crack started to emerge. 5 goals in that third quarter. A bit of a recession in that third quarter, which set up that final quarter avalanche and the white flag early final quarter. I've got the stats here. I'm not going to display the stats regarding the team stats or player stats. They will likely be adjusted anyway, so check out the AFL website. But I had to write this down. Inside 50s in the third quarter, 19-3. We kicked 1 goal, 2 in the third quarter. So every entry we got inside 50 that third quarter led to a score at least, but only 3 inside 50 entries. That doesn't pay the footy bills. And 4-16, -12 in clearances. So we got smacked in the midfield and we got smacked all around the ground. That's second quarter as well, just going back a bit. We had this game plan of trying to get Geelong out the back door, trying to get Bobby Hill, out the back door, not cherry picking, but trying to get goals, using his pace and whatnot. Nathan Kruger was guarding or standing his ground, his positioning pretty well. Wasn't intercepting everything, but was able to spoil, make sure Collingwood players were thinking twice going forward. And it ended up being our downfall for the second half, where our ball use was getting worse. It was surprisingly as well. When the weather cleared up in that second half, our ball use got worse. The first quarter was a bar of soap compared to Geelong. They were very clean by foot and by hand as well. Second quarter, just couldn't execute in the second half or second quarter. Just couldn't get them out the back door. Geelong were able to get us out the back door late second quarter. And then the third quarter, everything just went downhill. And the final quarter was a bit of an avalanche, or the first few minutes of that final quarter where they kicked those goals. Game over. Heads went down. The white flag went up. You get what you deserve in the end, and we lose by 61 points. But we did have some positives, some junk time stuff in the end, but there were some positives for the entire game. Charlie West with 4 goals. So he'll be knocking on the door of AFL selection if Jack Buller doesn't fire a shot against Geelong tonight. Dan McStay, the pressure's on him. Tim Membry's out for a few weeks still. And Charlie West knocking on the door. Hopefully it's not too far away for a second AFL game. Harry DiMattia, whatever you want to pronounce it. Mercedes called me out on the pronunciation of Harry DiMattia. Tia, the emphasis on Tia. 21 disposals in his first game back. Played the full game, but had a quiet final quarter. I was actually surprised he played the full game. Just thought 3/4 time, the game's almost done. Just have him managed. Thumbs up game for DiMattia. I was going to say DiMattia, but DiMattia. Whatever you want to pronounce it. Dirty Harry has Bolt. Just, I don't know. It's a good game for Harry. Number 13. Ed Allen, he had 32 disposals. I've got the stats here as well, so I'll just mention it looking down. Ed Allen, 32 disposals, 5 clearances, 5 inside 50 entries. Now, I may do a video in the next 48 hours looking at Ed Allen's performance here in the VFL, because it didn't scream knocking on the door of selection. He is averaging over 30 disposals in the VFL, but he has got the tag too good for the VFL, not good enough for the AFL. But 32 disposals at just over 60% disposal efficiency. The handballing and whatnot I thought it was poor, my personal opinion, but I'll watch the replay. And if I can have some analysis points and whatnot, I'll bring it up. And I may do a video on this and explain why he's not playing AFL level, especially in the midfield. Swadling, 29 disposals, accumulating, but he had more handballs than kicks. I noticed that. Maybe that's in the back of his mind, but he looked composed, I'll say that. Better ball use, disposal efficiency, but didn't have much of an impact. But ticking all the boxes. His time will come to make an AFL debut. Jacob Ryan, 24 disposals, 5 intercepts. No real impact on the game, though. Jai Saxena, I thought, had a good game. 15 disposals, a goal. Could have had 2 or 3 goals with 2 behinds late in the game. 4 score involvements and 4 inside 50 entries. So a bit of a jump cut there. My hand is cramping up. holding a notebook. Unbelievable. Noah Howes, 14 disposals, 10 of those intercepts. This was one of those games where I thought, we lost by 10 goals. We could have lost by a whole lot more if Noah Howes didn't play. So, silver lining stuff. Noah Howes doing well as a key defender. No real critiques. There was a moment in the first quarter where it was a 2-on-1. It was going to be a goal, but he lost his balance. I don't want to see him lose his balance. That's the only critique or nitpick. And he gave away a free kick in front of goal for a sling tackle, a dump tackle where it wasn't there. Harsh, but I didn't think it was there. Uh, so I've mentioned 7 players who I thought, yeah, some good performances, but then you can split the other 7 as well for bad performances, or they look good at times, but overall, yeah, mid or meh or thumbs down. Tao Jath, 20 disposals, 10 effective disposals, so 55% or 50% disposal efficiency. I can't even do maths at this point. We got smacked. 8 intercepts, but my goodness, TJ, he has a good disposal and then he turns it over. A good, bad, good, bad, good, bad sort of performance for Tao Jath. Harvey Harrison had a good first quarter, then tapered off, only 12 disposals for the game. Kicked a goal, first quarter, 4 tackles and 4 inside 50 entries. Will Parker won't be playing AFL next week unless Craig McRae saw something that we didn't, or I didn't. He had 14 disposals, 3 intercepts. Bit of a quiet game. The only thing I noticed from Will Parker was he knocked over Max Holmes' brother, Hunter Holmes, I think his name is, in that third quarter. With a statement, a crunch there, but that's the only thing I noticed from Will Parker. Bobby Hill, and I should have mentioned this earlier, but Bobby Hill, he was unwell. He played a full game, but spent a bit of time on the bench. Only 6 disposals, no goals. Down game for Bobby Hill and everyone's expectations. My prediction still is Bobby Hill will return to AFL level against the Eagles. Pendlebury's record-breaking game, unless he gets through with an injury, but Bobby Hill, hopefully, is playing against West Coast. That's my bold prediction. He will be playing AFL footy in 2 weeks' time. Whether he plays next week, we'll find out. That's a wait and see. Not a watch this space, more of a wait and see. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was given another week to perform in the VFL and then go from there. And just to round out our AFL listed players, 9 disposals, 3 clearances, 3 tackles, 3 score involvements for Ty Prindable. I should have said that at the start of that, but quiet game. I guess the goal for Ty Prindable is to have 2 good games, good consistency together. So he's a first-year player. I'll cut him some slack. Smith, 17 hitouts, 3 disposals. Couldn't touch his opposition ruck, otherwise it'd be a free kick against him. So yeah, sorry about that for Smith. That's the only negative, really. And McCarthy, not involved, 5 disposals. That's it for McCarthy, first-year player. He'll find his footing. Takes a bit of time. So, yeah, no player stats or team stats mentions on screen, but just saying it off, writing down these stats at the end of the game. Yeah, 61-point loss. We're 2 wins, 4 losses. We're in 16th spot as of this recording. It may change as the VFL progresses this round. At the end of round 7, we'll find out where we sit. But tough 3 weeks ahead. Sydney next week up there. Tramway Oval. That's where Harvey Harrison did his knee in 2024. Footscray in 3 weeks' time, and Werribee smack bang in the middle of that. We'll find out if we are in contention for finals or the wildcard round, the VFL. But it's not looking too good. I'm going to tamper my expectations on Collingwood's VFL side, who I thought were going to be top 6 this year. Tough fixture to the start. Maybe with the better fixture after the bye, we turn things around. But we're in a bit of a no man's land position. It's similar to our 2024 run where we went on that losing streak, lost to the fucking Bullets in 2024, and just a bit of a terrible 2024 season for us. Injuries galore. Yeah, we're in that spot right now. Hopefully we turn it around in the VFL. But the main goal for tonight is get the win over Geelong of this 3-game stretch. Hawthorn, a draw. Geelong, I think, is the most likely gettable or winnable game, but Geelong are a structured side. They'll have game plans galore for us. And then Sydney up there next week. Maybe they're gettable, but hopefully, or hoping for a win tonight, stay in the top 10, push for top 6, and then go from there. But I'll leave you guys all to it. Hopefully you guys watch this video before the AFL starts. Otherwise, watch this first thing tomorrow morning. And then I'll have the round 9 review up Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon, hopefully by noon at the latest. And then I might do a Ed Allen video in the next 48 hours or some sort of analysis video to make up for any gaps before the preview to the Sydney game. I'm hoping you guys have had a good weekend so far. Please be well, please be safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Up the pies.